My 20th boyfriend's 20 meters girlfriend is bugging me. Too long didn't read. My high school boyfriend made a new friend in college who he is not ready to set boundaries with, and I'm running out of energy to deal with it. Hey, so first off, a little background. My boyfriend, 20M, and I, 20F, our childhood friends, have been in the same schools throughout, and have been dating since we were 13. We are in the same uni but different departments and met on a daily basis, pre-corona. I moved a few years ago, so now we live about 30 minutes away from each other. Everything was pretty fine and dandy. In our first year of college, we are now in third and last. He made acquaintances with a girl in his class, let's call her X. So through the first year, towards the end, we kind of started drifting apart. We are both on scholarships, he for sports, me for art, so we are pretty heavily invested in those. Around February 2019, he started becoming really close to X, often blowing me off to hang out with his many friends at college, which included X. But I never really had an issue with it until she started popping up in every conversation and plan that he had, often sidelining me. I once went to his department to drop something off and he introduced me to all his friends, while she just said hello and sat in a corner and sulked. He went over and asked her what was up and she just pulled a nothing, just tired. I tried to ignore all of this, but eventually, things started piling up and she became the reason for a lot of arguments. I saw videos of them at parties sitting too close for me to feel good about it, etc. It was going downhill until finally, he ended up lying to me about just hanging out with her in a cafe. His reason being that he thought I wouldn't like it. After that, he apologized and decided he would keep his college friends and me a little separate. All of his guy friends were still good friends and he occasionally calls me to hang out with his group, but never with X around. But somehow this made her an inaccessible topic. A lot of his friends are connected with me on social media, not her. Both of us really don't believe in cheating or anything, so I know that physically nothing happened, but I was emotionally getting cut off. I just didn't know how to bring up the topic without it turning on me being insecure anymore. It's like she had a part of him I couldn't touch. This frustrated me a lot, but I didn't know how to deal with it. On his birthday, he decided that once we got free from college he and I would spend a nice evening together, dinner, drinks, the works. He got free a couple of hours before me and spent a few hours at her house on his birthday. That made me feel a little sour, but I let it pass. Then, he and I started planning a trip together after the semester ends, and he brought it up to her, and she lost her shit. She started yelling that they could go on an end of sem trip with their friends and whining about how he didn't celebrate his birthday with her and didn't invite her, etc. Mind the fact that in fall last year, he took a trip with some of his friends, including X. While he and I, in all our years of knowing and dating, haven't been able to take a trip because I have really strict parents. This annoyed my boyfriend and they had a fight where he told her that she cannot compare herself to me. It absolutely baffles me because I have known him since way before, and it isn't like I suddenly came into the picture and ruined their friendship or something. Things blew over and we are quarantined in our houses now. They are still friends, but he has completely stopped mentioning her to me. They talk on a daily basis, but he never brings it up even if I ask him casually who he talked to or what he did today. But he often talks about things he discussed with her, or even sometimes in a manner that makes it obvious to me that he has talked this over with her before, like his birthday plans, etc. I know him like the back of my hand, so it is very easy for me to pick out. It's like she is there but she is invisible. A lot of other things have happened over quarantine too. Her friends have texted me from fake accounts and were pretty nasty and all. This has been going on for over 20 months, and I am drained of trying to ask him about things while walking on eggshells. I don't even know what I am trying to ask here, but I am exhausted and I do not know what to do. Update: the only update right now is that I am having a mental breakdown. Sorry. I will let you know where it goes from here as soon as I figure it out for myself. Another thing, a lot of you are talking about the text her friend sent. I didn't get a screenshot and it was unsent right as I asked who is this and I was blocked. I was really stressed out and frustrated and deleted the whole thing because I didn't know how to deal with it, which in hindsight was a terrible course of action, and I have no way to 100% say it was related to her, but the content made me pretty sure that it was. My boyfriend doesn't know about it. Your boyfriend has 2 girlfriends. After that, he apologized and decided he would keep his college friends and me a little separate. Translation: I am not going to tell you anymore, but nothing changes otherwise. So I know that physically nothing happened. You do not know. They talk on a daily basis, but he never brings it up even if I ask him casually who he talked to or what he did today. See above mentioned translation. It's like she is there but she is invisible. See above mentioned translation. Time to establish boundaries. Do not keep people around that obviously are in love with you. I'm at a loss as to how you don't know what's going on, but I guess it's just more obvious from the outside. He's cheating on you, emotionally and likely physically as well. His friends are in on it. It was going downhill until finally, he ended up lying to me about just hanging out with her in a cafe. His reason being that he thought I wouldn't like it. That's called manipulation. Your boyfriend manipulated you right there. Shifted the blame for his lie, by omission, onto you by claiming, I thought assumed you'd be upset if you found out. However, he is completely disregarding the key counter-argument to that, which is, then why would you do it? Why would you do anything you felt you had to hide from me? I was under the impression that you and I had open and honest lines of communication with one another. Am I incorrect, then, in that assessment? Because if I am, and you would like to alter the initially agreed upon boundaries of the relationship, then by all means. Let's discuss this in more detail, as I would like to hear what changes you would suggest, if any. Edit, a few words. They aren't just friends. A lot of other things have happened over quarantine too. Her friends have texted me from fake accounts and were pretty nasty and all. And he shouldn't be friends with her anymore either. He is cheating on you, if not physically then he's heading there. My M25 roommate M30s is clearly in a worsening depression. We don't really talk. How can I help? I'm subletting a room in an apartment from Alex. I found the place on Craigslist and have just lived here since July. We didn't know each other beforehand and don't really talk much as is save for like paying bills and an occasional conversation when one of us is in the living room or kitchen and run into the other. Alex usually holes up in his room playing Xbox, but for at least the first few months I lived there he kept everything pretty neat and was pretty active. I think the current situation is getting to him though. He now literally doesn't leave his room save to pick up takeout and use the bathroom. He's not really taking care of himself and seems more disheveled every time I talk to him, and his sleeping patterns are becoming more and more erratic. Plus, at the beginning of this he was usually in voice chat with other people when he was gaming. Now he's totally quiet. I don't even hear anything beyond him shifting in his bed. I suffered from pretty bad depression myself as a teenager, and all of this is reminding me of myself in my lowest points. Even though we're not exactly friends, I like the guy and am super worried for him. But like I said, we're not really anything more than acquaintances that share a living space. Is there anything I can do to help him without overstepping? TLDR, roommate I don't exactly know well seems incredibly depressed. How can I help him without overstepping? Send him a text and ask him what his favorite food or snacks are. Stock up the fridge or leave it outside his door. Leave a little have a good day note on it. Nothing too extravagant, but I'm sure it'd mean a lot to him. Maybe one day ask him to go out for coffee or food. Maybe buy 2 tickets to a movie and say your friend bailed and you have no one else to go with. Getting him out of the house is a huge step, and by doing little things that are only of basic friendship, it won't seem too invasive. Good luck, you seem like a great guy who cares a bunch. It's very nice of you that you are so concerned. I have been a depressed flatmate before, and what made me feel even worse was the cleaning schedule and getting bugged about it. I have also once been the flatmate that had to do all the cleaning and I was so angry about it. So if you are really such a sweet person that you would put extra effort into helping him get better, I would suggest you keep things clean and neat so it doesn't feel like everything is falling apart, and keep buying basic stuff like toilet paper and salt, again to make it feel like everything is under control. You could definitely open to his direction, but I can't really tell what would make him feel better. I would have wanted flatmate movie nights and a good friend, but don't push it if he declines you all the time. If you do offer activities, make it spontaneous and easygoing, like, hey, wanna do a movie night and order pizza? Because a set update can feel like pressure. If he does want to hang out with you, you could find out if he wants to talk about his depression by mentioning something like, I heard about them starting the vaccination in Britain. I hope it goes well. This current situation is a little hard on me. If he doesn't pick up on that, just talk about something else. Last but not least, don't feel like it's your job to fix him, and don't get discouraged if it takes longer for him to feel better, especially if he doesn't have a therapist. You're such an awesome dude for being so thoughtful. Smile. I'd say offer small branches of friendship, like Oblivion suggested. Little snacks here and there. Maybe ask him what his favorite dishes/cuisine are, and ask if he'd like to prepare a dinner together one night or something. You can pass it off as you're going stir crazy yourself and need something new to do. Good luck! Exclamation mark. I'm basically your flatmate in this situation. What I will say is, don't force it. Don't force conversation with him if you see he is tired and just wants to go to his room. If you are cooking something, maybe tell him you've made extra and ask him if he wants some. If you are going to buy some groceries, ask him if he needs anything. Think of ways you can help out, because facing the world is actually very hard when you are so depressed. My 27 meters, fiancé has no work ethic and no ambition, and I'm 26F, sick of it, questioning marrying him. Hey everyone, needing some advice on how to deal with, or not, the lack of balance in our adulting/work ethic/ambitions. Too long didn't read, partner doesn't put effort in at work or home, has been given an amazing work opportunity that I'm scared he's jeopardizing. I'm an ambitious workaholic with a great career path and nervous that a future with him is not going to be a true partnership. I, 26F, have been dating my partner, 27 meters, for 7 years, engaged for 1. We also own a house together. We met in university halls in the first couple of weeks and have been together ever since. We're best friends and do have a lot in common. Problem is, I am an ambitious workaholic and he has no ambition, a crap work ethic, and has to be nagged to do any adulting. I'm really over this and am questioning whether I want a future, and children, with him. He failed most of his classes in first year and dropped out of university, never went back. He is dyslexic, so struggled with academia. He is really intelligent, loves history, classics, and space, and has been into podcasts for years. He's better at learning by doing, but isn't motivated to self-learn. After dropping out of university, he had jumped around entry-level admin and call center jobs for the past 6 years. He took 6 months off to do a development course that his family paid for, but never got a job in development after completing it. I'm not actually sure if he applied for any. He also didn't do work outside the course to build up a portfolio to help his job prospects, despite me encouraging him. I asked him to help me build a website for my own project, but after months of him not being up for doing it after work/in the weekends, I ended up building it myself. He doesn't know what he wants to do, which is totally fine. Who really knows what they want, but isn't motivated to improve himself and create a pathway for himself for a good career. It breaks my heart because he's so smart and has the potential to be a hard worker and go far. It's only his lack of self-motivation in the way. On the other hand, I worked 2 part-time jobs while studying full-time, then worked full-time while studying part-time, did 2 overseas exchanges and graduated top of my class. I got a great entry job in a small agency, worked hard and became the go-to person there for my specialization, then left a couple of years later for an internationally focused, better paying job. This year I was lucky enough to get a new role in a fast-growing startup with an international focus, where my boss is already talking about promoting me to a team leader role early to mid next year. I am currently earning almost double what my partner is, and will be triple if I get the team leader role. I sound like an asshole, haha, but just trying to give background. He has many other good qualities, like how kind and easygoing he is. Also, we agreed that he would manage any comms with the tenants of our house, his family. We previously lived there with them, but are now renting closer to work. The bills are still in our name, and he is supposed to coordinate repayment from his family. I have been asking him to get on top of this for months, and it's got to a point where they owe us over $1,000 in bills, which isn't fair on them either, as that's hard to budget for. I asked how I could help him get this done, and got all the bills together and calculated the total, then asked him to email or talk to his family about how they want to repay. They're expecting it and keep reminding him to. All he needs to do is talk to them, but he still hasn't done it and the money is adding up. What's really triggered me now, and thank you so much if you've read this far, apologies for my negativity, is that he has accepted an awesome new job, but he's starting off on a really bad foot and I'm scared he won't be able to keep it. The job is at a startup, and it is customer service, but he will have the opportunity to work with the development team and kind of shape the role how he wants. It's an excellent stepping stone to a product manager or digital project manager role. So the break he needs to start an awesome career. I'm so happy for him, and he's really excited. Now, he is supposed to start at the end of this week, but he's had some dental issues. He had a tooth out last week which threw him out and meant he had to take sick days in the last week of his old job. It took him a week to recover. He knowingly booked another root canal for tomorrow, the day before he is supposed to start, and he has not told his new manager. He had also told them that he would organize a coffee before he started but has not yet done that. He's told me that he's not sure if he can start on the agreed day, which I'm scared will happen if he goes ahead with the appointment, but he hasn't talked to his new manager about this either. I'm pissed off because this is such an amazing opportunity, and whilst I appreciate it's because of health reasons, I'm scared he's going to jeopardize the job. He will annoy his manager if he tells her the day before he is supposed to start that he can't start until next week. She might have booked meetings etc. And that's such a bad foot to start off on. I've told him that and he's still keen to go ahead with the root canal. So, very long story short, hopefully the life admin and work related examples illustrate what I'm dealing with, having to nag and push him to adult, and it's draining. I try to be as supportive as I can. I helped him do his CV and cover letter and apply for jobs etc. But he needs to put the effort in himself. We're also starting to plan a wedding, but I don't have confidence that he will help out much. God knows what it'd be like with kids in tow. No, I do have high standards, and I don't expect him to go back to uni to become a lawyer or anything crazy. I just want him to try at work and be generally on top of our life admin so it's a true partnership. I do love him and we are happy, but I'm wondering if this will ever change, and if I should make a conscious decision to leave this relationship for the sake of a better future. Am I being unreasonable in telling him to talk to his new boss or preferably reschedule the root canal so it doesn't affect starting his new job? Would I be better leaving this relationship for the deeper issues around lack of motivation/effort in personal and work life? Any advice is so appreciated. 3. Edit. Wow, you're generous with your time/advice. Thank you so much for your comments. I'm going to try my best to read and respond when I can. It's pretty emotional and hard stuff, so may take me a while to get through it. I've talked with friends and family about the job/dentist thing, but now think I need to lean on them a bit more with my wider concerns. Thank you all for caring so much. Smile.